Hey, welcome. You're going to love our special episode of Dish It Out today. We're going to start off with a French toast bake, berry bake, which is outstanding. And then from there, I have a special guest, Chef Randall Smith.
How you doing? And I'm going to prepare for you a chipotle barbecue rubbed London broil with a mango mint pico de gallo.
You're going to like both of these. Stick around. And welcome to Dish It Out. I'm Doug Fee, coordinator of the hospitality programs here at Mercer County Community College, and we are at the beautiful facility of the Culinary Center at Mercer County College. My special guest today is Chef Randall Smith.
How you doing, Chef? How are you today, Chef?
Great, welcome.
Glad to be here.
All right, and now our guest today is actually from the area, from Jersey, right?
I live right down in Morristown, New Jersey, myself.
Okay, and you're a Johnson & Wales guy, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a Johnson & Wales graduate. I graduated back in '91 with my associate's degree and '93 with a business degree in food service management.
You worked in quite a few restaurants in the Philadelphia area, correct?
Yes, I have. I've worked in the Rittenhouse Square area, also proceeded to go up to New York City to work, also worked down in South Jersey, down close to Atlantic City, Washington Township, Cherry Hill area.
But you're not only local nowadays, you're traveling quite a bit, I understand.
Yes, I am. I get to have fun and travel the country and do a lot of different things. I get to cook for a lot of people, get to teach a lot of people how to use knives and do some cooking demonstrations along with that.
Outstanding. So what do you have in mind for us today?
Today I'm going to do a chipotle rubbed with barbecue London broil with a mango mint pico de gallo.
Ooh, sounds complicated.
Very simple, very easy to do. Just a couple of simple steps. First, you're going to take your nice London broil. I usually let it come up to room temperature before I do anything. I'm going to take a nice chipotle rub that right in and get it nice and seasoned throughout the whole entire, and then I put a little bit of barbecue sauce on there.
Outstanding. At the beginning, you put barbecue sauce on there.
Yep, I put some barbecue sauce on there in the beginning because you want to get that nice flavor.
Outstanding. All right.
We're going to take that and we're going to put that, I think we should put this right on the grill right away because London broil being a nice thick cut of meat, you want to get enough time to cook that so we can do everything proper.
Okay, let's go over to the broil and throw that baby on.
With the knife.
Very good.
Going to take the tomatoes, going to slice them down. Want to make sure you get rid of all the ends. Slice it down. Going to do a nice fine dice on them afterwards. Do a nice julienne first.
And we actually teach a knife skills class here at Mercer County College.
Oh, you do?
We do, for non-credit students. So students come in, they play in our kitchen with knives, and they get to take the knife home that they learn how to cut with, and they don't have to do any dishes. It's a pretty good deal, actually.
Man, where can I find people like that to help me out? I guess I'm going to have to come back up here to Mercer County to do a lot more work.
Well, you can find us on the web at www.mccc.edu/HRIM and come and play in our kitchens.
Oh, that's great. Going to take 3 plum tomatoes. Going to dice them up. Then you're going to take a little bit of, like about maybe 2 tablespoons of cilantro. Fresh is what I prefer. Fresh cilantro is always the best thing to use. It's going to give out nice flavor, nice aroma. It's going to hold up really well. Nice color inside that pico de gallo. After you chop that up, you're going to add that right into the tomatoes. Nice jalapeno.
Okay.
Preferably, a lot of people like to use gloves with jalapenos. Not going to do it right now, but if you do use fresh jalapenos, you want to make sure that you're going to use gloves because you don't want to get that jalapeno juice on you because as soon as you rub your eyes, you're not going to be able to see anything.
That's it, yes.
It's like I like putting the ribs and the seeds right in to get some nice extra flavor. Going to use 1 whole jalapeno with this mango. Right after we get done doing this, I'm going to take that mango, I'm going to peel that mango, get it cut. With the 3 tomatoes, you're going to want to use about a half a mango and you want to dice that up.
Okay. Now, how many would this serving typically be for?
This serving will probably do about 6 people.
Okay. Let's go with the size London broil you brought with you.
Oh yeah. You want to make sure that you get the nice size London broil. London broil we got here, I think I had it weighed out at about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. Going on and peel your mango.
Now I noticed that knife has Some divots on both sides there.
Yes. Knives are designed with hollow ground function. Hollow ground is the indentations that are put on the knife. When you have the hollow ground, as you notice when I'm cutting things, food does tend to stick to the knife, but it's not going to suction right onto it. It's going to release from the knife so much easier.
See, and I have a problem that you've probably noticed, that since we're both left-handed, a lot of knives only come hollow ground on one side, and it happens to always be the wrong side.
Yes,
when I'm
it
trying
is.
to slice something.
But with the ErgoChef knives, Scott decided there's righties, there's lefties. Got to make sure that you have enough for everybody in that kitchen. Gonna want to take that mango. No, I'm doing a nice bizarre job on it, but after you get that, you're gonna take the mango. Also, you're gonna do a nice julienne cut before you dice that up. You want to get as many pieces as you can out of it, and you want to let that sit with that marinade get that nice flavor from the jalapenos into the mango. With the mangoes also being sweet, it's going to reduce the intensity of the jalapenos.
Right, kind of get the yin and the yang on our
Yes.
tongue there, so it balances out.
Going to take the mangoes, add that right on in. I usually take 1 clove of garlic when I'm doing this.
Okay.
Want to give it a little bit of a zip, give it a slightly different flavor to it. I like doing a nice mince to it, get a nice chop. Some people will like to take it and mash it up and make it into a paste, but really when you do that, you're not really getting the full flavor from it. Got to
But
put
wait,
some
there's
red
more.
onion. When you take your onion, easy thing to do, once you have it clean, nice slice, nice fine dice on the red onion.
And it's going to be nice and pretty.
Oh yes, color's always a key. People tend to look, when they're eating, they tend to go with their eyes first instead of the food. So you want it to look nice and pretty before you do anything.
So what's our next step here?
Next step is going to be the last step with the mango mint pico de gallo. You're going to take your mint leaves. Take like about a half a bunch of mint leaves. You're going to do a nice fine chiffonade on that. Chiffonade cut is basically a ribbon cut on your fresh herbs. You want to get it nice strings, nice strands, get it nice and going. As soon as you get that nice chiffonade done, going to take this mint, add that right in to the pico de gallo.
All right, I can really see all the colors in there.
And the last thing that we do is, me being a chef, I like to use my hands with everything. I'm going to make sure that I get a glove on so I can mix this all up. You want to incorporate all the ingredients properly together so when you take a nice bite out of this mango mint pico de gallo, you're not getting just the garlic, the cilantro. You want to get a nice mix of everything so it's going to pop when it's in your mouth. After you're done that, preferably you want to let this usually sit for a good 30 minutes just to absorb the flavor. But with us using these nice fresh ingredients, it does have a lot of flavor automatically. So you're going to take that, you can take this and place this right in a refrigerator, or you can even let it sit out if you want.
Okay.
What I'm going to do though, I'm going to take this, I'm going to plate it right up on our serving dish that we're going to have here.
It smells very minty fresh.
Going to take it right in that center. So when you take your London broil, you can fan the London broil out completely around it. How are we looking back there, James, on that London broil?
Pretty good, Chef.
Okay, that London broil needs about another 2-3 minutes, and then we can let it rest for a couple of minutes, and then we can slice that right on down.
Okay.
Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a regular tomato, take my paring knife. I'm going to decide to have a little bit of fun, because when you're making a dish for people, you want to make sure that it looks nice and pretty. Besides the nice colors, I'm going to peel this tomato up. I'm going to make a nice tomato rose to put right in the center of that pico de gallo. You want to take that paring knife and just let it go right around. You want to get it as close to the skin, just skin left on as possible, and just have some fun. Because the best thing about working with food is having fun. If you don't have fun, it's not worth it. You're going to take it, once you peel it, you're going to roll it. Once you roll that up, it's going to give that nice form that looks just like a rose.
Okay. Now you have the outside on the inside.
Yes. You want to do it the opposite way. So you have nice, vibrant colors. And then, voila, right in the center.
Beautiful. You've done that once or twice.
I think I've done it a couple times. It's like I remember doing a party for about 150 and having to do 150 of them, but
That's good practice.
it's a lot of practice. All right. I think we're going to go check on our London broil right now and see if that's all set and ready.
Now it's one of my favorite parts. Almost time to eat.
Definitely. This is the best part. Once you let that nice London broil rest, you want to take that, transfer it right over to your cutting board.
Now, why do we make this thing rest? It's not tired. It's not doing anything but laying there.
You want to let it rest because if you don't let it rest, you're going to have them juices all over the place. It's not going to give that same appearance and it's not going to have the same flavor. You want to let it rest to try and keep them juices nice and into the steak. Going to take your carving knife. I like cutting it right on a bias the whole entire way. Nice angles, usually about 1/4 of an inch slice. Nice and thin. Keep going. And then as soon as we're done, we're going to fan that right around that mango mint pico de gallo.
Well, those knife cuts are very consistent. You must have went to school.
Yes, that's the Johnson & Wales teaching that I had, but I hear that you get the same training, if not better, here at Mercer County.
You know, you're a good man. As a matter of fact, you can get that great training here. We have some inspired, talented chefs here to teach our students.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to have to come back and spend some more time so I can really get to work with your chefs and work with the students and have some fun.
Sorry.
Now that we're all done slicing up, you want to I like taking a nice pair of tongs. You're going to fan this right around that mango mint pico de gallo. You're going to have that nice medium rare temperature, and then you're going to be able to just take that and let it pop right into your mouth.
Boy, that's looking good.
And this is going to serve a nice family of 4 people, give you a nice presentation, nice cuts, nice even. Last thing I like to do, since I did marinate that with a little bit of barbecue sauce, you want to get a little bit of nice barbecue sauce right on top. Give it that little bit of extra flair right onto it.
Outstanding.
And here we go. There's that Cajun, the Chipotle style barbecue London broil with a mango mint pico de gallo.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Chef. And again, if anyone would like to learn more about the Ergo Chef store, you can go to www.ergochef.com and you can research about Scott Stibe, the president of Ergo Chef. Have some fun.
Outstanding. If you want to have some fun, come join us at the Culinary Center here at Mercer County Community College. Join us on our website, mccc.edu/HRIM. All right, my favorite part now, time to eat.
When someone abducts a child, they're not about to advertise it. But we will. Sign up at wirelessamberAlerts.org to get free Amber Alert text messages on your cell phone. Help put a child abductor out of business for good. Wireless Amber Alerts. A child is calling for help.
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Flying solo for this segment, we're going to do some breakfast. And I don't know about you, but when I have company over, I do something a little different. And this is a little dish that you can do that's very friendly. You can prepare most of it the night before, so all you're going to have to do is pop it in the oven. It's a French toast berry bake that you're going to cook right in your oven. And it's actually a pretty healthy dish. So we're going to start off here. We have some French baguette here. And for French toast, we like all this crust. That's going to give us a nice texture in here. And we're going to cut this up into cubes. And we're cutting up your bread. You want to use a serrated knife. And you can see the ridges there. And that's going to help cut through the bread so that when we go and cut it, we don't end up squishing the bread down. If we were to use a regular knife like a slicer, and I'm trying to cut it, I'm actually squishing the bread down to go through it. That's not what we want to do. We want it to retain its shape. So with a serrated knife, we're going to be able to do that. We can cut right through it without any problem. So you don't have to sit here and watch me cut all that stuff up. We have some prepared bread cubes here, and all this is one French baguette. And we're going to put this into our pan here. Very carefully measured amount here. This is basically a 9 by 13 pan is what you're going to use at home. So what we have next is our wet ingredients. And for that, 3 whole eggs. And so 3 egg yolks out of this, what's going to eventually easily feed 6 people. I know in my house of 5, feeds everybody breakfast, and we have leftovers, and it's usually gone by lunchtime. We keep snacking on it, but it's great stuff. So now I have 6 egg whites in here. Now if you use the carton of egg product, the egg substitute, that works real well. A lot of times when you're using those substitute products, there's no flavor. But in this particular case, we're going to have plenty of flavor, so that's not an issue for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat up these eggs a little bit. We have the large economy size bowl and fork here to do that. We just want to beat them all together. We have a 1.5 cups of milk. Again, we're going to pour this all in here. And now we're going to stir in our dry ingredients so they're mixed in throughout as well. We have a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we have our sugar, a little vanilla, and some salt. Stir that all together, and it smells terrific. The vanilla and the cinnamon smell really good at this point. And what we want to do is we can actually do this the night before. A lot of times we work here with pasteurized eggs. We tend to be sanitation zealots here. So we want to be very careful with our products. So we're just going to pour this over our bread cubes. And what we want to do is we want to let this really soak in. So this is something that you can do a step you can do the night before. Put it in your refrigerator, and you'll be good to go. So when it comes out of my refrigerator, so I've done it the night before. This is my topping. That we're gonna pop this in the oven, but we need to cover this up. So it's going to go in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. So we're going to cover this up with some foil. Pop this in the oven. And the other part of when I have company over for breakfast, not everybody wants something like this. Some people just want eggs. So I'm going to show you how to do some omelets while this is baking off in the oven right after we make our topping. So we're going to pop this in the oven. Again, we're going to leave that covered 30 minutes. While that's in there, one of the things we're going to do is make our topping for it. And what's going to go on top of that are some berries. And you can use fresh berries. In this particular case, I have 12 ounces of frozen berries. Depends on the time of year whether or not berries are available. But if you're using the frozen, what you want to do is give them a chance to thaw out a little bit and pour off some of that excess moisture. Because as you saw before, we already have plenty of moisture in our pan. So what we want to do is we're going to take some brown sugar, and we have about 1/3 cup here, right? And our butter, cold butter, and we want to cut this into the brown sugar. And you can see it kind of stacks up on the pastry cutter. Just ignore it, keep pushing through. Eventually it'll fall off, and we want to have it look like a nice streusel, crummy kind of topping looking. Crummy in appearance, not in flavor. I'm going to keep cutting it through. The brown sugar adds a real nice flavor. Whether you use light brown or dark brown, depends on what I have in my pantry, which one I'm using. The dark brown may give you a little more of a molasses type of flavor. But the amount of that we're using in this recipe, the flavor difference is pretty negligible. So our butter's carved in there. We're going to put this off the side, and we're going to set up an omelet station. Okay, now it's time to break some eggs. We're going to start with our omelet here. We've got a nice Teflon pan, very user-friendly. And we'll just put some spray in there. You see it's a little too hot when that happens. But we're going to cool it down by adding some of our ingredients. I have some onion, and this is just some grilled onion. Hear that nice sizzle going on there. And then I have some diced ham. And these are cold ingredients. Again, this is something you can prepare the night before. Set out your little cups for your mise en place. And when these cooler ingredients hit the pan, they help lower the temperature a little bit, so we don't put our eggs in there and have it scorch all in one shot. So I give it a little toss. That saute methodology I mentioned earlier. And it's going to give us a nice size omelet. And with the ingredients in there, they're looking a little bit dry, even though it's a Teflon pan with the mushrooms sometimes. So what you can do is if you need to give it a little more vegetable spray, you can do that. It doesn't look the most attractive in the world, but as we toss it, we'll be good here. Okay. So now we're going to add our scrambled eggs. We got 3 eggs here. I'm just going to pour that right in. And we have a heat-resistant spatula. If you try this with a regular rubber spatula at home, it's not going to turn out very pretty. You're going to melt the end. This is made for high temperatures. What I'm doing, I'm just going to move this around until my egg starts to congeal around my ingredients. And you can see when I go up around the edges, all right, it's coming right off, which is what we really want in an egg pan. So you can see now when I run my blade of this spatula through here, it's leaving tracks. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to level it smooth, turn down my heat a little bit. And once you have, if you're making a whole lot of pans of eggs, if you're cooking for all your guests yourselves, you'll find once you get the pan hot, you can find a nice setting on your stovetop, and you won't have to be playing with the temperature of the fire, turning it up and down. It should hold for you without any problems. So what I want to do is I'm going to give this a little shake and make sure it shakes all the way through, that nothing's stuck. And you can see the whole thing is kind of wiggly there, which is what we want. So we're going to let this sit for just a second before we flip the whole thing over in one shot. Again, before you get to this level, you want to make sure you've practiced with your rice over a garbage can. And flip it right up and over. Okay? And this is how I like my omelets. Some people don't like them to brown at all. When I have my caramelized onions in there, this is the look that I actually looked for. So I'm shaking it, and it's sticking. That means it's not done. I have to be patient. So let it sit down for just a second. Make sure it's not going to stick. And now we're ready to plate up. We have one omelet ready to go. So what would go really good with this is some berry French toast. So let's go check on the oven. It's been in for half an hour, covered at 350 degrees. So we're going to take it out. See, ooh, it's looking good. It kind of has a almost like a bread pudding type of appearance to it, which is just fine. So what we're going to do on this now is we're going to put our fruit on here. And this fruit, if you remember, was frozen, which is okay, but it's unsweetened. All right, we want this to be breakfast. This isn't dessert. This isn't bread pudding dessert, although it is nice and sweet. So we're going to put this out on top here and spread it around evenly after we get it all on top. I'm just going to spread some of this around. And if you want more or less fruit on there, I don't know, I think I would tend to put a little more fruit on here. But that'll get us started. And one thing that didn't hold up under the lights was our butter here. So we can't sprinkle this on quite as nicely as we would want, but we want to spread this around. This is just brown sugar with some butter cut into it, and not a lot of butter compared to the size of the servings that we're going to have. And we're going to sprinkle this on around. And this is going to go back into our oven for about 15 minutes, just long enough to get a nice brown color on there. And when we're all done, this is the look we're going to get. So what I want to do is cut out a piece here. And it should hold together for you pretty well. Yeah, that's what we want. Nice, steaming hot, and this does not last long at my house. So something to go along real well with any breakfast, or like an assortment of fresh muffins and bread, which actually, this is from our Baking 1 class here at Mercer County Community College. And we have a real nice assortment, and you can learn something like this. This is first semester students, so come and see us. Credit, non-credit, you can have a lot of fun. mccc.edu/HRIM. So there we have our French toast berry bake, which is outstanding. Real easy way to prepare for your guests. Something a little different, not overly sweet. I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for joining us today on Dish It Out. I hope to see you again next time.
Hey, good game. Oh, there he is. Great game, man. Let's go get a win! This year's MVP goes to Jake.
steroids, and eventually everyone will see you for what you really are. A fake, a fraud, an asterisk. Don't be an asterisk.
You're unique. So are we at Mercer County Community College. Over 60 majors to choose from. Discover your unique path. And turn your passion into a career. Small classes and enthusiastic professors. Follow your unique path here at Mercer County Community College.
Hi, I'm Doug Fee. I'm the coordinator of the hospitality programs here at Mercer County Community College. I'd like to take a moment to talk to you about one of our new programs here in culinology. You can earn an associate's degree in culinology. It's a blending of the culinary arts and food science, a way to train not just research chefs, but the next generation of research chefs. The program is designed to teach you the culinary arts skills that you'll need here in our kitchens at Mercer, designed then to transfer up to the nationally recognized Rutgers University Food Science program, where you can complete your 4-year degree. Along the way, we'll help train you so that you can qualify to become a certified research chef through the Research Chefs Association. It's a phenomenal opportunity if you like to play with food and develop new products and new concepts for both food manufacturers and restaurant chains. So if you're interested, please give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 609-570-3447. Or if you feel more comfortable, send me an email. You can reach me at feed, F-E-E-D, @mccc.edu. And we'll set up some time to talk and see if this career can be right for you.
Welcome to another edition of Ask Frank. Today's feature, we had a question from one of our students, Minerva DiCarlo, and it was regarding some crab meat. A lot of people love crab meat. I know I personally do, especially during the summertime. Fresh crab meat is wonderful to have, and I could do an episode or two just on crab meat, just to give you an idea of what you may buy in the supermarket. I don't know how appetizing this looks to you, but this is a raw crab meat. This is a lesser quality crab meat that you may find in the aisle of your supermarket in a can. So it's not refrigerated, perfectly fine to eat, has its purposes. You can make a very inexpensive crab cake out of it, but I wouldn't recommend using this in most scenarios. You can get on to buying things like back fin and claw meat and all different combinations. This one is a 50-50 combo. It's called Special, that you'll quite often find in the supermarket. This is a pasteurized product. So this is in a can, but it's in the refrigerated section of your supermarket, and it's quite nice product. Again, to use for your crab cakes or a variety of different things. Then when you really want to spend the money, this is a Colosso, a jumbo lump crab meat. This particular one is pasteurized and frozen. You could buy jumbo lump crab meat or lump crab meat in fresh format, and it's quite delicious. But it'll probably be double the price in most cases. So this one's a frozen product, and it comes from Vietnam, believe it or not. So you can buy crab from all over the world. Blue crab you can get obviously in the United States of America, or you can get them from all over the world. In this case, if you're spending the money on this jumbo lump crab meat, this colossal crab meat, you can see the nice big pieces. So if you're making a crab cake with this, which is ideal, you want to make sure that you get big chunks of that crab so when you're mixing it, you don't break it up. Because why buy a very expensive crab meat just to end up like this? Might as well buy the lesser costly crab meat in that case. Either way, no matter how you like it, you can make yourself quite a lovely crab cake. And when you're eating that crab cake, just remember our lesson today. Nice piece of jumbo lump crab meat right there. You can see which one I used. And remember, don't ask your neighbor. Ask Frank. Enjoy your crab cakes. I know I will. Ooh, that's cold.